Hey guys, how you doing today? Um, I'm doing pretty good. Today's not a bad day. A little bit boring as always. Um, one of my prescribers, and hey, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Always give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give a comment. Negative, positive, it's all good. Somebody asked me once, how's my head doing? I don't know if anybody of you know, but when I was in the Philippines, my brother-in-law and he's around 22 at the time, he was upset because my father-in-law and his wife treats my kids a little bit better than his kids. My kids get a little bit better, I don't know, everything. Attention, gifts from relatives from the States. My kids get treated pretty good. So also with me, her father, Josie's father, helps me out all the time. I mean, because I don't know what I'm doing on the farm, and he's always there showing me what to do, giving me attention. Maybe at nighttime we pop open a couple of cold ones, and again, his father and I, he's my amigo. He's my good buddy. And one day, him and his father was arguing, and I walked out, and he said something to me, and I said something back to him. I told him to grow up, and he didn't like that. So he turned around and started talking Ilongo to me in an angry voice. And his wife was outside. We were down at the rice field, not up on the mountain, but on the rice field when it happened. And he kept on, maybe 15 minutes, he kept on babbling, like, go back to the U.S., leave us alone, all this kind of stuff. Because, see, I overstayed a long time ago. And I was more or less making the Philippines my home, and I wasn't never planning on going back to the U.S. And things started escalating to his temper started getting more angrier, and I seen him pick up a bolo. A bolo is a Philippine homemade machete. It's for cutting tall grass. It's for cutting sugarcane. And it's a lightweight blade. It's not a heavy blade like for chopping down trees and stuff. It's just a clean up bolo, just to clean up around the sugarcane, harvest the sugarcane. That's what a bolo is for. It's a sugarcane bolo. And he picked it up, and I see him using a stone to sharpen it, and he kept on babbling and babbling, and he said when he was done sharpening, he stood up. His wife was like holding him back because he was acting like he's only like 4'5", 4'6" at the most, knee high compared to me. But he was like acting like he wanted to make an advance towards me because he was holding the bolo, and he said, "Gaga you, Gaga this," and I turned around and I said, "Gaga you too." Gaga means fuck you, or something bad like that. Excuse me. And I turned away, walking towards where her father is on the other side of where we're at. And the moment I turned around and start walking, and all of a sudden I fell to the ground. One knee was on nailing, and one knee was like in a sitting position. I took a knee, and my head felt heavy. And see, a lot of Filipinos, including him, they all think he's like Manny Pacquiao. He was like invincible. And I said, boy, he gave me a good sucker punch from behind, and that was a good, I said, that was pretty good. And I tried to lift up my head felt heavy. And all of a sudden, I seen a little trickle of blood, and it went drop, and I go, well, that's weird. Maybe he hit me from something from behind. And I put my hand to my head, and he hit me with the bolo across my head this way, and the blade stuck me from right here all the way past my temple. And now when I open up my mouth, you can see how the indent stuck into my skull. So, being heavy-headed, I put my hand up on the bolo, and I pulled it out of my head. It stuck in my head like how you stick when you chop a coconut. That's how it felt like. That's what it looked like. So my mistake was I pulled it out of my head. When I pulled it out of my head, the blood just gushed out, and it went out pretty well. I grabbed a shirt and I pressed it against my head to compound the pressure, and I threw the bolo on the ground. And Josie's brother was still very angry and stuff, and maybe he was angry because I was still up. I stood up, and he was like yelling, screaming. His face was all red. Like, his wife was very, very upset and screaming at him and hitting him. And she was holding like a newborn baby, and she laid the baby on the ground trying to hold him off. And I'm going, oh my God, what did this guy just do to me? I called for Jesse. Jesse was on the other side behind me. And I called, he came running around the corner. He seen what happened, and it looked like he picked up a big, like a heavy rock, and he was going to hit his son with it. And he was yelling at his son, and I said, Jesse, we got to go. And I was feeling a little bit dazed at the time, and they got a hectare of rice. I had to walk 1 hectare to the main road on the rice paddy, and the rice paddy is like a checkerboard going to the main road. And there were some canals that I had to hop over, and I'm sure it was quite the sight. When I was bleeding, I put my hand down, and like to balance myself. Her father, Jesse, gave her brother a couple of plots of rice fields for he could grow his own rice. And I kept on throwing blood on the rice paddy when I'm walking. The reason why I did that, because a lot of mountain people think that blood could put like a curse on his rice field. A lot of Filipinos are very, superstitious. Very, very superstitious. And so I was doing that as like a payback, trying to get back at him as I'm wobbling over to the main road. We got to the main road, and people by now, they could see what was going on, and her brother, Josie's brother, stayed at the rice field, with his wife and his kid. My two daughters were all still up on top of the mountain with the grandmother, and where Josie was. So we got to the main road. Somebody stopped, picked us up. I was in the front. It was in one of those little pickup trucks, Toyota pickup truck, and he raced to Banati, down the road from where we were. When I say down the road, maybe 30, 40 minutes at the tops, and he raced to the hospital. I kept on telling the driver, because the driver, he had a rice field right next to us, so he knew who I was, I knew who he was, and I kept on asking him, does it look bad? Does it look bad? And I kept on taking off my hand off the pressure, and I'm showing him what it looked like. And he said, Kevin, it's very bad. And we went to the hospital. The hospital, mind you, wasn't a hospital. It was a prenatal hospital where they deliver babies. And the mother would go there like maybe a couple of days or a week early to have the baby. So that's where I went. And the doctors there all gathered around me, trying to clean me up, because they don't have actual tools for a head trauma to help me out. So they cleaned me up, and they put maybe 48 stitches on the inside, and then they did I think it was 50 on the outside. The stitches on the outside was regular stitches, and then the 48 stitches on the inside was dissolved stitches. So I stayed there for a couple of hours, and then they wanted to ship me to another town, to the big hospital in Iloilo. So they had an ambulance come and get me, and we went to the big hospital where I could have an MRI or a CAT scan. We had a CAT scan because they didn't have an MRI there. The next day, they brought me back to the original hospital that I was at, because I was closer towards family members. I stayed there for around 2 weeks. It happened December 20th, 2013, and I got released like maybe 1 week before Christmas. I'm sorry, 1 day before Christmas. 1 day before New Year's. I know, my head. It's hard for me to remember things a lot. So they fixed me up. I asked the doctor, how do I look? He said, oh, Kevin, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to maybe have memory loss. You might have problems with your vision, because he hit so close to nerves in my eye. And after that, the doctor told me he thinks I should go back to the U.S. To get better medical assistance and try to get things back in order. So I went to my aunt in Utah. I called her up. She got me a plane ticket to Guam. So that's where I'm going to stop right now. But I asked the doctor, how much blood did I lose, does he think? Because I had my towel that I had, my sweat towel, was so infatuated with blood, it a lot of the blood coagulated. When they took me off the gurney, all the blood that was around my neck and head looked like Jello. It was pretty bad, and the doctor said I lost over 2 liters of blood. Most people, 2 liters of blood, that would kill the average or the normal person. So I guess I'm a little bit different than other people by my body size and everything. So that's what kept me alive, was I had extra blood. I don't know. I don't know. But these are different stories that I have. This was the story of what happened to my head. And is there violence in the Philippines? Yes. Is a lot of the violence preventable? Very yes. When you get somebody anger and they're going rampage, don't turn your back on them. Okay? Word to the wise, don't turn your back. Because, what do they say? Don't turn your back on your enemies. Hello? No shit. But can you prevent violence? Yes. Know where you're going, know who you're talking to. Don't at nighttime, don't really talk to strangers. Hey, don't get fucked up. Don't get drunk. Don't get fucked up when you're in a foreign country. Don't flash your money around. Don't wear jewelry. Don't wear bling bling, because at the end they will bling on you and you're gonna be out. If you're gonna report something to the police, a lot of the police don't understand English, so you're gonna be shit out of luck. Okay, always, from me to you, go out with other people, hang out with crowds. Don't go to, like I say, somebody says, hey buddy, come here, you want a date? You want me to get you a girl? Have some common sense. They ask you, do you want to have a card game? Do you want to smoke something? Do you want to buy this watch? Come on over, I got many. No. Use your common sense. Use your mind. You know, again, if you're new to the place, don't go places where you're not familiar with. That's pretty much it. Common sense. Just try to have fun, but don't go out of your way to, like, if you drink, don't be a macho man and try to, like, oh, I'm macho, I'm drunk, fucking people this, fucking people that. Hey, somebody's gonna get mad and they're gonna fuck you up. Okay, so always be careful. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you say. Not everybody's your friend. There are good people there. Extremely good people. This is the only time out of 12 years that I lived in the Philippines that I had one problem. But that one problem, that will last forever. Okay? That's what you're going to remember. You're not going to remember, oh, the good times that you had for 12 years. But for that one instance, that's what you're going to remember. So, hey, always try to have a good time. Always have a good attitude. You are a guest in the country. Don't fuck it up. Okay? Don't do what I did. Don't overstay. Don't take advantage of the system, because at the end, the system is going to get you. Okay? This is Big Kevin, and I'm talking to you guys later on. Always be safe. Have a good time. And God bless. And hey, there is grass on the other side, but sometimes the grass is just as green where you came from. Always have a good time. This I say, Big Daddy saying hello, goodbye. I'll talk to you later. Thanks and goodbye.